Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi everyone, this is Natalie Jean, and today on Chatting with Nat, we have the honor of having singer-songwriter Jay Dee. Since capturing first place at 2016 Toronto Open Mic Contest, Richmond Hills, Jay Dee has established her band as a high-voltage, spellbinding feature of numerous music festivals. You can find her debut EP, Smiling Face 2018, and single End of Time 2020 on all streaming platforms. Smiling Face is her signature and sing-along title track, an effortless gender bender that combines country, folk, and throwback pop with a touch of rock panache. Let's give her a round of applause. Hi, Jay. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm still alive and kicking. It's been raining a lot here. It's been raining like for 2 days straight. It's really, I think I might have to just get into a boat to go somewhere. That's how much rain it is over there. How is it where you are?
It's sunny. It looks so nice. I can't wait to go outside. Maybe I'll bring the sun to you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be really, really cool. It was great chatting with you on the IG Live yesterday, and now we are on Blog Talk Radio. Now, which of your cover songs do you like to perform the most and why?
Ooh. Okay, I gotta think about this one. There's so many cover songs. When I cover a song, I usually put my own spin on it. And one of my favorites, every time I do Brandi Carlile, I've done The Story and The Joke by Brandi Carlile. I really like doing those. I like doing House of the Rising Sun just because it's a time for me to just, let loose and let my vocals do whatever they want to do. And then I also enjoy the new one I've been trying is Tennessee Whiskey. That's a fun one as well. Yeah, there's quite a few.
I love House of the Rising Sun. I actually do that cover when I perform as well. I do a couple of covers. I do my own stuff. One is one of my favorites to sing. I love that song. You just gave me an idea for a TikTok. I'm always thinking. It's like, oh, what else can I do? So thank you for that. So if you had to become a musician, what would you be doing right
now? Well, I'm also a teacher, so I guess I would be doing that. But music has always been. I'm a music teacher, of course. So music's always, it's number one for me. It's always come first ever since I was little. So I have other interests, maybe perhaps like a screenwriter or something like that, something in writing or film. But no, music has always been number one.
That's awesome. Now, your songs that you've written is the one that you like to sing the most, and why?
Which one I enjoy singing the most?
One you've written.
End of Time. And there's another one called I Can Be Her. End of Time because I wrote that one about my parents. When I do it with like a full band, there's a beautiful violin lick, like violin hook in that song that I really love. And that one's just, it's a personal one for me. It always makes me think of my parents. And then the other one is I Can Be Her.
Okay.
It's an empowering song about like for women essentially,
Okay.
just about having this idea in your head of who you want to be, but really just embracing who you are. So inside, and it's kind of, there's like a part where I really let loose vocally, because it's just kind of like a, not so much an angry song, but it's just very it's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like that. I love this that you can just put that and just. There's a different type of emotion that happens when you do songs like that. I totally agree with you. Now, do you prefer performing, or do you like a venue that's a large crowd where you can rock out?
Was that smaller venue or larger venue? Is that what you asked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, that's such a good question. I guess it really depends what the venue is. I've done smaller venues where it was more of like a singer-songwriter where everyone was there to hear the music and they were focused, and it was a filled room, but it was smaller, unlike, some festivals I've done.
Right.
And I really like that because they're focused in on what you're doing, lyrically and musically, whereas a festival, they'll be walking around, maybe not focused in on what you're singing about. So maybe I would lean towards more smaller venues, more intimate.
That's really cool. I do like the intimate setting because, you can see the audience in front of you. You can see their reaction. Although I do like a large stage because then I can rock it out on a large stage. So
That's true. That's true. I like that too.
you can just let loose. I love that feeling. What is your writing process like? And if you ever get writer's block, how do you deal with that?
I get writer's block all the time, especially lately. I find if I'm really happy, I find it difficult to write a song. It's when like when I went through breakups and stuff like that, and difficult relationships, writing was so easy for me. It would come so quickly, just flooding out. And then I grab paper, pencil, and I have a song in 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm done. Whereas when I'm, really happy, I find it difficult sometimes to get the creative juices flowing. But what I usually do is I'll set aside time to write, but I don't want to force it either, because I find when I force it, the lyrics that come out aren't the ones that I'm that proud of. It's when I feel really inspired, where they just start flooding out, and that I find is the easiest process for me, just when I feel especially inspired. And to get inspired is just to live life. And I feel like I'll be inspired, when I give birth and things like that. Like that will probably spark something. So that's probably how my process works for songwriting.
Yeah, I'm like you. I can't be forced to write. There are times where, I had to write a song quickly because I wanted to create a song and go to my music producer, and I was just like, oh my gosh, nothing is coming out. I start yelling at the screen or the piece of paper that I have. And I'm like, come on, there's something in there. You have a theme, just bring it out. And once I walk away and I relax a bit, things just flow. But that writer's block crap is just like the worst thing ever. I have to be moved to write something. Like right now, I'm currently thinking about, working on a new album, and I'm thinking of themes. And when I write a song, I usually try to start out with the chorus. I'll throw a word and then work around the chorus to bring out the song. I used to be a person that was a stickler of, okay, it's got to be verse, chorus, verse, bridge, in a chorus.
Mm.
And no, I don't do that anymore. I find that when I try to push that way of writing, things just don't flow. I'm like, what are you doing now? Like, you need to just write the way that you want to. So I've gone, now I start to write like I'm writing a poem. Because I realized, just like I said yesterday with, artistry, like where you're a painter or you draw or whatever the case may be, they don't have all this like stuff that there's just, it has to be like this. So
Mhm.
now I write the way that I want. Sometimes my chorus is like one word, depending on
Mhm.
what the song is about. I write a lot of social impact message songs, so I feel like I have a little bit of more freedom to write the way that I want. In any case, I think that, like I said, music has to evolve. We can't just write the same way. It's called art for a
Mhm.
reason. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're trying to bring about a message through this
Mhm.
wonderful thing called music, and it's about writing a certain way that allows our words to move through somebody else. And I think when you do it naturally and not forced, then the message is actually received by the listener.
Yeah.
I'm trying to start that revolution. trying to
Mhm. I
start
told yeah. Sorry, it broke out a little bit. Can you repeat that?
What is the craziest place you've ever written a song, if ever?
The craziest place I've ever written a song.
Yeah.
Okay, my first year of teaching, I was in an office with no windows, and I just felt so inspired, and I had prep. I just, like I said, just started teaching, and then I felt inspired to write the song "Smiling Face." I wrote it in 5 minutes. I just felt very, very inspired because I had gone to the subway a couple days ago, just on the train there, and just noticed everybody. Like obviously, I don't expect people smiling when you're on a subway, but everyone looked very upset. I just got that kind of vibe from what I was seeing, and it just made me think about how much negativity there is in the world, and how
Right.
we need to focus on all the little positive things and just try and laugh at life, because if we totally focus on all the negative, then it just takes over everything. So and I feel very strongly about that, not
Right.
to say I expect everybody to smile and be happy all the time. Obviously, that's not the case. You always have a right to be upset and sad at times, but to always focus on the negativity, it's not a healthy thing. And that's where Smiling Face happened, where I just wrote it in 5 minutes. It's only 4 chords, and it's so simple, such a simple song. But my vision for it in terms of the instruments and what I wanted them to do was a lot more elaborate.
Right.
Yeah, so that might have been the weirdest place, just because then I'm off to teach a class right after. So yeah.
Right. Right. I usually find that the most creative place and craziest place, well, it's not really crazy, but it's the shower. My God, I can
Oh,
come up with the best songs in the shower.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And then I get out of the shower and I forget them. Or I try to repeat them. Or now sometimes I would bring my phone on the side and sing. And then I had a podcast with this one young lady, and she was telling me, oh, there's a pad that you can bring in the shower. It's like waterproof with a pencil. I'm like, what? What is this wonderful thing? Now I bought the thing. I don't see. I have a problem. I will buy things, set them aside, and not know where I. I have yet to use it. That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I'd like to actually come up with a gadget. This is my idea. I want to create a gadget that's waterproof, that you can put in the shower, that's soundproof in the sense that it won't hear the shower, and you can just press a button when you're ready to sing. Whatever you're singing in the shower, it just takes it You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's amazing. That
Oh,
would be awesome.
I have to create that thing. And when I was talking to somebody else, they said, the reason people come up with great ideas in the shower is because you're more relaxed. There's something
Mhm.
soothing about the water,
Mhm.
uh, and you're just like free flowing. I mean, I think I think
Would I want to open for me? Oh. Um, I mean, if I pick a popular artist, then I'm not being realistic. Like if I pick, you know, Brandy Carlisle.
you never know.
Yeah, but
Those that believe.
I feel, yeah, someone like that. I mean, Brandy Carlisle, someone in similar to my genre, or I would choose maybe my husband because he also does his own. He has his own songs as well, even though we're completely different genres. But it'd be
Mhm.
kind of cool to have, your husband opening for you, and then then you come on stage with him on the drums or something. I don't know. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, just I have a lot of musician friends that come to mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I would probably have one of them open for me.
That's awesome. Now, which venue is your favorite venue to perform and why? Where you performed?
My favorite venue I have performed.
Yeah.
One of them, oh, there's a bunch. One of them was the one I was talking about. It was downtown Toronto called Rivoli, and just because how it was set up in terms of very intimate and everyone was focused in on what you were doing. That was
Right.
one of my favorites. That was very cool. But I've done a ton of different festivals, and those were a lot of fun. I don't know. It's so hard to choose. I have one. I have a place that I love to perform, and I
Mhm.
haven't, and that's Dakota Tavern in Toronto. It's got like it's kind of small, lights strung up everywhere. I've heard a lot of bands that are country, folk, Americana, like in that genre, and that place. That's like my number one. I would love to play there. So that would,
Okay.
if I ever played there, that would be my answer. But other than that, yeah, all the all the festivals I've done were good. Rivoli was a good one. Yeah, it's a tough one because there's so many
Mm.
different variety of places that I've done as well.
Right. Well, that's awesome. You have a bunch of picks. I'm going to play your song "End of Time." Tell me what that's about.
So End of Time is about my parents and their journey. I was always fascinated about my parents' story. I always thought it was
Mm.
really interesting, just how they met,
Right.
and how my mom's dad did not approve of my dad at
Mm.
all. He's this long-haired guy walking in, not of the same cultural background, which also my mom's dad didn't like either. Just some Canadian guy with this long hair walking in, and he's like, "Who is this?" But when he saw how my mom was treated by my dad, which was
Mm.
amazing, then
Right.
he came around, and then they had myself and my brother, and then there was, of course, the time where my mom had bone cancer, a very rare form of bone cancer. It was actually the same type of cancer as Terry Fox,
Mm.
and it not a lot of people survive that form of bone cancer, and that was I was young. I was 5, but I still
Wow.
remember everything. I still remember being in the hospital. I still remember, drawing sad pictures in kindergarten. Like I still remember all of those things. And so so then that memory, comes to mind, of course, and then I just bring it back because she's alive and well. She's doing well. Yeah, and their relationship is just as strong as ever, and their relationship was always the reason why I could never hold on to a relationship for so long, because I wanted that exact relationship. And then I found my husband, and we have such a similar relationship, like my parents. It's just,
cool.
two best friends, right? Two best friends that totally get each other, and it's easy and it's not work. And that's what I've always wanted. And so that's why, the song means so much to me, because now it also reminds me of where I am now.
Awesome. Let's play it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep, I love it. You have ways. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
The internet has impacted the music business?
Yes.
Okay. The internet has impacted just overall, or with my music specifically?
Oh, how do you feel about it overall?
Overall,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, internet in general. Like, I mean, when I'm thinking what's been impacting the music business overall, it's changed a lot, and I always find it hard to keep up with all the new things that are really like well known for musicians, and like TikTok, for example.
Right.
I don't know if that would fall under internet, but in terms of and in terms of just popularity with music, like, I don't have a TikTok myself. I know I should get one, but I'm so bad at that and social media, and I always find it very difficult for myself to just make posts and do stuff like that. So, and I feel like it's such an important thing, especially now,
Right.
for artists, that they need to do that they need to promote themselves, that they need to, constantly make a post or a TikTok or something, and, and then share that TikTok on all the other social medias, and, and then build a following that way. So I feel like it's impacted artists greatly. And I myself find it very difficult, just because I am so old school. It's so hard for me to do that stuff. Like, I find it very difficult to even make a post on Instagram or Facebook. Like, I always, I'm not the type that will take a selfie of myself and say, oh, come listen to this. It's so hard for me. So at some point I would love to get someone for my social media where they can help me out with that, and they can just, really focus on that, because I know it's really not my strength at all.
The internet is just, to me, is just crazy, because every 5 seconds there's something new that pops up, and you're just like, I just learned how to do this one thing. Now you're telling me that there's something new that I have to learn. And just like you, in the beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to be on all these platforms. It's just ridiculous. What am I supposed to say? And then I started learning more about the different and how useful they are. I have to say that Instagram is my favorite, because Instagram is more about pictures and storytelling with your pictures. I mean, now you can upload videos and stuff like that, and they have reels and blah, blah, blah. But people don't really get into a lot of back and forth banter on Instagram. That's why I get a lot, like, for example, with Facebook, when there's the election season and all that, oh, Joe, there was a lot of back and forth, agreeing to disagree, blocking, unfriending, whatever. That happens. And on Instagram is really, people just post nice pictures. I don't see a lot of back and forth. I mean, obviously it's your page, you can post whatever you want, but more or less people are very friendly on Instagram. Twitter, I'm still trying to figure out how you gain more fans on there, and I think it's more about tagging people that have a lot of similarities to what you're doing. TikTok, ooh, that's just a whole nother ball. I'm really learning about TikTok, taking a couple of courses in it, learning how to use it successfully, really engaging myself in it. And TikTok is really, a lot of people think, oh, people just go on there and do silly stuff, but it's really not about that. I mean, there are some people that do that, but there are things where you can learn different things. There are things that people get on there when they're sad or happy or whatever the case may be. I mean, I learned about the pineapple on TikTok. Like, everybody's been eating the pineapple the wrong way. Basically, you don't cut it in halves and do all this stuff. Those little ridges that you see, you just pull it out and you just eat the triangle. Isn't that ridiculous? All these years we've been slicing up that pineapple like crazy. And all you have to do is just pull the thing out and just eat it. These are hacks you learn on TikTok, or there's beauty products, or or even new music you can learn about on TikTok. The internet has really impacted the music industry in so many different ways. Now, when you create music now, that's one of the things you can think about, whether your music will be useful on all of these platforms. And these are ways for you to go viral, or get more streams on your Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever your music is. It's a new ball game. I think back in the day they had less to do. We have more work to do, because now it doesn't even matter if you can sing or not these days. Because if anybody can become a singer, because there's Melodyne, there's all kinds of different products out there that can make anybody sound good. Anybody. I think that for me, it's kind of sad that anybody can become a singer, because there's some people that, they really can't sing.
Yeah.
And they become popular. There's a girl that was on Dr. Phil, and this girl had a mouth on her.
I know. I know right away who you're talking about.
Nasty. And because of her nastiness, she became very popular. Rap artist, female.
Yeah.
She became popular because of that. Made millions of dollars. Now she's on OnlyFans. And OnlyFans, how do I even describe that app?
Oh, gosh.
It's not porn. but people are naked on it. She made $50 million on there, to the point she was able to buy this mansion recently. And sometimes I think to myself, where have we gone? I mean, I like the freedoms we have in the United States. It's a beautiful thing, like here. But the fact that people can get so popular off of being so just nasty, it just bothers me a lot. It bothers me. It is crazy. And I think the internet also, kids growing up these days, they won't know how to spell. There's all these LOLs. I had to ask my sister. I said, what does this crap mean? Or I have to Google it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, what's going on here? Oh, that's what that means? It's just a crazy time. I want to congratulate you, Jen, for your pregnancy. And when is your baby due?
August 19th.
Oh my gosh, that's here's the irony. That's my sister's birthday.
Oh, really? Aw.
And we're actually 9 years apart, and I'm older. And when my mom was pregnant with her, I used to make my mom open her mouth so I could talk to my sister, which is crazy, which is funny. Or else I would, talk to my mother's belly.
Aww.
Do you do anything like? Well, obviously you're not going to open your mouth, but do stuff like that where you talk to your child? Sing to your child.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My husband and I are always speaking to my stomach and singing, and he's already been to so many gigs with us, so he's definitely heard his mom and dad's voice.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Now your baby may come out singing.
I hope so.
That would be awesome. It's like, baby's got it. Who are the three people who have been the most influential to you?
There are quite a few. So my mom was a singer as well. She was a teacher and a singer. And when I was younger, I would go to different festivals and things like that she was singing at. And actually at that time, I did not like country whatsoever because I heard it so much too.
Right.
And it was something that I definitely did not want to get into. And then, then over the years, kind of changed as my education of the genre itself broadened, and I heard all kinds of different country, and it's not just country, it can be folk, Americana, and all these other subgenres that I really connected with. And so it's funny that that's kind of how it started. So she was such an influence in terms of, I saw her performing, and it was something that I always wanted to do as well. I remember even like being in, a superstore and saying, I want to sing. And she was like, go ahead, sing. And I'm like, no, I want to be on stage and I want to sing. And yeah, so I think she was such a major influence for me. Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters is just, I don't know, he just, the way he performs on stage and just everything about him, he's just a genuine, seems like such a nice, genuine person, has been influenced on me. And Brandy Carlisle, when I saw her live, it was an experience. She did something that I always wanted to do, and it's still on my bucket list. I've tried to do it. I would just want to do it again more successfully, but she divided the whole room into different vocal parts, and they had, and it was so cool. Everybody was singing in the audience, but it was like 4 or 5 part harmony and singing with her and the band. And I was just so beyond moved by that experience. And I have a song like that can be divided like that. And I've always wanted to do that. So yeah, so those are definitely my 3 major influences. And my husband always influences me too.
Now, what is the one common myth about the music business want to debunk?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was just breaking out a bit.
Debunk.
The common, something about the music business that I would want to debunk?
Yeah, a common
like get rid of, or?
So something like, one of the common myths is that, you're just going to wake up one morning, decide to do music, and you'll be famous. That's just so not true. That is so not true.
Right. Yeah, maybe that it seems easier than it actually is, right? So I always find it,
it's hard business.
Yes.
The thing that I think is a lot of work. There's a lot of people I talk to, they always say the same thing. God, when I got into the music business, I just didn't understand how hard it was. It's like people say, they get up and like, I'm just going to sing, and they don't understand the whole business aspect of the music business. I have a friend who manages her son, and her son's fairly successful. He's a multi-instrumentalist. And she said, and he even said he went to Berklee School of Music in Boston, and he's like, people should be taking courses in music business. Everyone that wants to be an artist should do that, because what happens is that once you start doing music, everybody and their mama comes, I don't know where they come out of the woodwork, they start contacting you about, I can make you famous, or I can do this for you. And you should be able to read the fine lines. If you can't afford a lawyer, you should know how to read agreements, contracts, whatever is presented to you, and know what your rights are, and what to look out for. I mean, when somebody says I can do X, Y, and Z for you, a label, but you're going to have to give me a $500 or $5,000, that's a red flag. If they want to, they're going to pay for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice? To start writing earlier, to get yourself out there earlier, maybe, kind of point myself in the right direction in terms of where I want to be with the genre. As much as classical music training, it did help me learn and it built my range. But I would have enjoyed, just getting into the songwriting earlier. That would have been good. And if there were open mics, I don't remember that being a thing when I was younger. But open mics, contests, maybe, just getting more into the recording earlier. And then that way I could get onto the radio earlier and stuff like that. So, just kind of pushing myself earlier because it was kind of, it happened later for me in terms of songwriting and performing and doing different gigs.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. I wish I had, but I was such a shy kid. There was like no way I was going to do this. I wish I had started writing earlier, and I wish I had learned an instrument. Like every day, I'm like, I have to open that box. I have like a smart keyboard that I bought 4 or 5 years ago. It's in the box. Still haven't opened it. Every year I'm like, I'm going to open it. I need to learn. So I wish I had learned an instrument growing up. It would have been awesome. Now, what is a quote or passage or word that you like to use to push yourself if you're feeling down or you just want to motivate yourself, if you use something?
Quote. I have a favorite quote, but it's not necessarily for motivation purposes. But without music, life would be a mistake. That's just one of my favorite quotes. But in terms of pushing myself and motivating myself, it's just simple, like, you can do this kind of thing. Keep on trucking.
It can be as simple as that. I mean, it's anything that's going to say is going to get you motivated, and just do it. Because sometimes in this business, you can be like, oh my God. Every day I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Every day. And then I'll get an email or a call or a text or whatever, and saying, oh, I really like your song. It motivated me to do this. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I hear you, internet. I hear you. I hear you, universe. I'm going to keep doing this thing. So, yeah. And my thing is, like, I say I write my own narrative. Like, nobody's going to write something about me that's not true. And I'm going to do what I want, basically. My thing. Now, tell our audience, our Blog Talk audience, where they can find you on the internet.
Just look up JAY space DEE, Jay Dee. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Jay Dee Band. And if you look up Smiling Face on Spotify.
Thank you for being on Blog Talk Radio, chatting with that. It's an awesome thing to know more about you. And I wish you success, because you have a beautiful voice. And congratulations again on your baby coming on August 19th. It's going to be a Leo.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, everybody. That's chatting with Nat Whitty. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She has a great voice. You have to find her. And if you didn't remember all that, just Google Jay Dee. You'll find her on the internet. Until next time on Chatting with Nat. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. we host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.
Shall I take your order, or do you need a minute?
Yes, I'll be ready. Just buying a car on Carvana.
What?
It's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. All I had to do was answer a few questions.
What? That's handy.
Yeah, now I'm customizing my down and monthly payments.
What? That's an exquisite deal.
And just like that, Carvana's delivering my car in a couple days.
What?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'll have the burrito.
Visit Carvana.com to finance your next car.
Financing subject to credit approval. Delivery fees may apply.
El juego raspadito Lotería de la Lotería de Maryland está de regreso con todos sus símbolos favoritos justo a tiempo para el año nuevo. Haga coincidir 4 símbolos en una línea en el tablero del raspadito Lotería y podrá ganar hasta $30,000 al instante. ¿Qué símbolos serán los que te traerán suerte? ¿La corona, la luna, la bota, la rana? Solicite raspaditos de Lotería en la tienda donde compre juegos de la Lotería de Maryland. Por favor, juegue responsablemente. Debe ser mayor de 18 años para jugar.
¡Gané! ¡Lotería, lotería!